Does price create value, or does value create price? We've seen both. A banana taped to a wall, Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, and an ancient statue of David. What do all of these have in common? For starters, they're all considered valuable because they're all considered art. But in today's rapidly and aggressively changing landscape, what is the value of art? A simple question, but in our AI, postmodern, politically extremist, open to interpretation society, it's not so simple anymore. We need some metrics. What makes good art? What makes it worth paying for? And does it make an impact? First, what makes art good? Some people say it's about technical mastery, anatomy, perspective, clean execution. Others argue it's about emotion, how deeply it moves you. The truth is, it's both. Skill matters because it shows discipline and understanding, but resonance matters too, because without it, even perfect work can feel empty. Take Jean-Michel Basquiat. Apologies if I'm butchering the name, I can never get it right. When he came out, critics dismissed his work as messy and childish, but what they overlooked was the urgency in his style. The way his strokes and symbols reflected the chaos of race, identity, and class in 1980s America. That rawness became his signature. He wasn't trying to be clean, he was trying to be real. And in doing so, he redefined what good could mean. Then there's the question of money. What's worth paying for, especially when AI can generate an image in seconds? People don't just pay for a picture, they pay for perspective, for a voice, for the fact that this came from you. Buying art isn't just a transaction, it's participating in a vision. Human intent is something no machine can replicate, even though we might be getting closer. Banksy proved this better than anyone. In a manner of speaking, he's the poster child for performance art. It's the act, the placement, the statement. When his painting shredded itself at auction, its value actually increased. Because what people were buying wasn't the object, but the story, the participation, the irony, the commentary. It was a cultural moment. That's why people pay for art. Not just to own it, but to connect to the voice behind it. And then there's the bigger question. What makes art impactful in society? Historically, art has always shaped culture, from Renaissance paintings to protest songs to the memes we share online. Impactful art doesn't just decorate, it reframes, challenges, and speaks for people. Kehinde Wiley is a perfect example. I had first experienced one of his pieces live and direct at the Huntington Museum, and his portraits bore the grandeur of European masterworks, ornate backgrounds, regal poses, but he places modern Black subjects at the center. In doing so, he reworks history, making visible what was long excluded. AI could mimic his aesthetic, but it couldn't originate the lived experience or cultural intent behind it. Wiley proves that perspective is what makes art more than a style. It's what makes it matter. But this also raises a tricky question. Does price create value, or does value create price? We've seen both. Some works become valuable simply because a gallery or auction house says so, and suddenly people treat the price tag as proof of greatness. On the other hand, there are artists like Van Gogh, ignored in their time, whose work only became priceless after society finally caught up with their vision. Maybe the truth is that price and value chase each other in circles. But it's the lasting impact, not the auction bid, that decides what survives. And here's why artists still matter. In a traditional sense, their power has always been perspective, translating lived experience into something universal. In a modern sense, their relevance is even more obvious. Without original art, AI has nothing to train on. Every data set, every style the machine uses is built on human creativity. Strip that away, and the system collapses. Artists aren't made irrelevant by AI. They're the reason AI art exists at all. So where does that leave us? Honestly, the future of art feels uncertain. It's easy to imagine a world where everything gets flattened into disposable content, where the flood of machine-made images drowns out human voices. But here's the thing. Value isn't dictated by algorithms or corporations. It's defined by people. We decide what resonates. We decide what lasts and what matters. And as long as people still choose to see themselves in art, to connect with perspective and story, then art hasn't lost its value. The value is what the people say it is. And they haven't lost yet. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my video. Once again, good to be back. Hopefully you've enjoyed my little op-ed on the value of art in this day and age. And as I haven't said in a very long time, if you like this video and you're on YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, and share. And if you're anywhere else, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, leave a comment, and let me get you guys' thoughts on what is the value of art in today's world. What defines that to you? I'm all ears. I'll see you guys in the next video.